The dagger Ivan threw hit Fenric's chest right in the middle. No, no. Despite the intense, indescribable pain, Presepe gasped and let out a short scream. But even if she screamed, she couldn't prevent the dagger from lodged in his body. Ivan's face, which was swaying and bleeding, had a disturbing smile full of gloating. Fenric, who stood in front of Presepe, paused only for a moment, then looked at his scarred chest where the dagger had lodged, with a pained expression. The Duke. He couldn't stay standing after an injury like that. It will naturally collapse in place. But Fenric, with unyielding resolve, reached out and grabbed Presepe by the wrist, then pulled her behind him, as if trying to protect her with his body. Ah, what came out of Ivan's mouth this time was not sarcasm, but blood mixed with pain. He covered his mouth with his hand and let out a groan, grinding his teeth in anger. People may come soon. He was injured too. If the palace knights or personal guards arrived for Fenric now, he would not have the opportunity to escape as he did before. Fuck, although he couldn't slit Fenric's throat before Presepe's eyes, which he longed for, he had no other choice now. Ivan collapsed to the ground as if he had lost consciousness, then bit his finger and began drawing a magic circle with his blood. I'll see you again, soon, these were his last words. Almost at the same moment, a black light engulfed the blood-drawn magic circle, and when Presepe opened her eyes again, Ivan had completely disappeared, leaving only a speck of blood where he had been standing. Perhaps because of the serious wound he had sustained, his magical powers had vanished, and with his disappearance the pain that had been racking Presepe's body also disappeared. But the problem now was Duke Fenric. Only after she was sure that Ivan was gone did Fenric collapse to the ground, and Presepe was finally able to embrace him with her trembling arms. Are you okay? No. Definitely not okay, just wait a minute, since her incarnation, she has been stabbed or injured countless times. But to see someone else get hurt like that because of her, it was a first. Should you remove the dagger? No, no, it may cause more bleeding if you try that. She couldn't move the Duke alone. You should ask for help. As she assessed the situation with a panicked mind, she looked at Fenric lying on the ground with a pale face. But how long will it take? Will he stand alone until someone arrives? And at that exact moment, Fenric's bloodied hand slowly rose into the air. I apologize, Fenric muttered, his voice cracking, his hand cupping her face. Because I made you suffer. I promised I would protect you no matter what it takes. What are you saying now? Even in this case, in this miserable situation, he only thinks about her, and apologizes to her, to the point that she felt that her tears would burst, so she clenched her hands tightly to prevent herself from collapsing. Don't say that now. It looks like you're really going to die at any moment. Don't be so pessimistic, Fenric smiled faintly. But despite that smile, blood was still spreading from around the dagger stuck in his chest. Time was running out. I will get someone to help you, I will be right back, just hold on a little longer, just a little longer, isn't it? But Fenric did not answer. With his pale face, devoid of any color, he was just staring at Presepe silently. Suddenly, Fenric's gaze turned to a door behind Presepe. There's no need for that, what? Yes, I will. What is this talk? Does this mean that he decided to die like this? While this idea came to Precipice's mind, she had forced Fenric to lie down and suddenly started to get up from her place, but the closed door opened at that exact moment. Prissy, whoever came running through the door was a familiar and very welcoming face. Yes, it's Kevin. Kevin, who entered in a hurry, looked into the chaotic church, with a look of astonishment on his face. Then, when his eyes fell on Fenric lying on the ground, he ran towards him without hesitation. Duke Fenric. What happened here? Immediately, the guards and commanders of the cavalry squad, whom he had apparently brought with him, appeared behind him and rushed in like a torrent. The cart. Kevin shouted as he looked at one of the guards after he confirmed that Fenric was injured, and soon chaos spread throughout the church. Duke, what exactly happened? Ivan ran away. Fenric breathed heavily and his voice cracked with pain. He was badly injured, so he must not have gone very far. Search the area as if you were combing it, then, yes, here you go, what else? Bring the doctor for Mrs. Those were the last words Fenric spoke. He suddenly lost consciousness, as if his body could no longer take it, and he completely collapsed. No. Please wake up. Duke Fenric. In an instant, Presepe, who had been struggling to hold back her tears, burst into tears. She looked horrific, with a burned face and charred clothes, as she wiped Fenric's cheeks with trembling hands and cried bitterly. And outside, behind the dense trees, Vidar was watching the scene through the window silently, without saying a word, staring at the sobbing Presepe. Kevin immediately prepared the carriage and carried Fenric, who had lost consciousness, and Presepe, who was about to lose consciousness, back to the palace. Fortunately, the sword did not directly hit the heart, but its condition is not good. The doctor, examining Fenric lying on the bed, said in a worried tone as he looked at Presepe, Kevin, and Hannah, who were sitting with apparent concern. To be honest, it is a miracle that he survived and came back here alive. It is true that his heart was not pierced, but the wound is very deep. He also lost a large amount of blood. The doctor sighed heavily. He will regain consciousness soon, but it is better not to wake up. Even with medications, the pain cannot be completely suppressed. Sleeping may be better for him now. I will give him a medicine that contains sleeping ingredients. Make sure he takes it regularly. He must rest completely for the next period. Do you know what I mean? So did Kevin, who stood pale-faced next to her. But Hannah alone had a different reaction. She didn't cry like Presepe, nor did she show sadness like Kevin. Although her face looked gloomier than usual. Yes, I understand. I will make sure to follow the instructions. Now, please begin treating Mrs. Hannah said as she looked at the doctor. Hannah, although Presepe was injured, her condition was not very serious, especially when compared to that of Fenric, who received a dagger in the chest. But Hannah was determined. Ms. Please, start by treating the visible areas, such as her face, and give us a topical ointment. I will take care of the rest of the injuries myself. Understood, I'll do it. The doctor replied, nodding his head. Then Hannah turned to Presepe and said, the Duke always told me. She started speaking slowly. No matter how dangerous the circumstances are, I must always protect and care for Ms. And that hasn't changed yet. Rather, it's what I want too. Why are they doing all this for me? Why are they always so nice? I have done nothing for Duke Fenric, nor for Hannah. I'm sorry. She whispered in a choked voice, holding back her tears with difficulty. I'm sorry, Hannah, because of me, the Duke was injured. No, never, that's not true. Hannah interrupted her in an unusual tone, and she responded firmly. The Duke himself would certainly have said so. There is no reason to apologize. So please, don't cry. When you cry, I feel pain. No one can hear these words without shedding tears. If you continue to cry, the Duke may hear your voice and wake up immediately. You heard what the doctor just said. He should rest, and sleep is better for him now. This is correct. The doctor agreed as he approached Presepe carrying a tray with antiseptic anointment on it. Stop crying for a while. Only then will you be able to stay by his side and monitor his condition. Kevin added his support, and only then did Precipe add. However, even while she was receiving treatment from the doctor, she did not let go of Fenric's hand lying on the bed. She kept holding it tightly until the end. Even after the end of treatment, and even after the doctor leaves. Even after Hannah scolded her, saying, you should rest now. Even after darkness fell and the moon rose in the sky. Until an unexpected guest appears.